Alrighty, Kev, how you doing? I
I'm
know,
all right, thank you.
I know you're eating. I know you're at work, trying to squeeze the protein in, so it's all good. Appreciate you. You're bang on track. So happy days. But no, Kev, obviously, I want to just jump online today because you've obviously done tremendously well, right? I mean, you lost 10 kilos, but I'm going to obviously hear from you now. Took more,
12,
about 12,
12
yeah,
or
12.
yeah.
Um, but it's mostly on the body composition, right, rather than the sort of the scales. So yeah, I'm just going to run for a few questions, and then what I'm going to do, Kev, I'm going to share my screen and run you through sort of nutrition, exercise, and what we need to do to get to the sort of next phase. Because obviously it's about building muscle now, start to shape up, um, probably beef up, right? Just fill out a little bit more, um,
Yeah, yeah,
in the right sort of areas. Yeah. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, Kev, I mean, before you started, before you joined us, what was you predominantly struggling with? Like, what was the sort of
Nothing, nothing really I was struggling with. Um, I was reasonably fit. I was doing boxing. I had to, I had to stop that because it couldn't make it work with my routine with this
yeah.
school drop off. So I needed to do something else. A friend of mine was, he was going to the gym a lot,
Yeah, yeah,
and we're roughly the same. I'm 54 in October. So we're roughly the same age.
yeah,
And we've got kids roughly the same age. So we're both quite old dads.
yeah,
And he basically shifted a load of weight and then bulked out. And he's kind of like, looks really healthy. He said he's feeling really healthy. I think he's like 15, 14% body fat.
nice.
And I just kind of thought, well, actually, I was 22% at that point, 23%. And I just thought, my son is 9. So I've got another 10 years before they leave the house. So I thought I just wanted to be,
Yeah,
I don't want to be, I might be an old dad, but I don't want to be an old dad.
absolutely. Yeah,
Right. So that was kind of the primary driver. And I just thought,
yeah,
and I remember going to the doctor and he kind of said, you're really fit and healthy, could do with losing a bit of weight. And I was kind of like, I wasn't too overweight.
sure.
Um, and then when I spoke to, I don't know, it was you or Dan, and I said, oh, if I can get to 78, and I kept in my head, 78 has always been a bit of a like benchmark. That would
Mm,
be good. And whoever it was, I was just like, no, I think we can get you down a lot lower than that, like
yeah,
73, 72. And I was like, okay. So anyway, that was kind of the motivation
right.
and
Yeah, I
the
remember.
start point. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. So yeah, it's about 12 kilos. I believe that's the lightest you've been in 30 years. I was chatting to Coach Dan, and he was saying that's the lightest you've been in
Yeah.
God knows how long, right?
Since I was certainly under 25, yeah, definitely
Okay,
30 years.
okay. No, nice, nice.
You know,
And other than the weight, because look, before you joined, you obviously you wasn't fat, right? It was more the body composition. So the thing is,
body composition, overall
yeah,
health, being, just trying to be an old man in a young person's body.
no, no, absolutely, absolutely. The longevity is massive, right? Considering you got children like I have. So it was the body composition. So you're probably around about 25% now. Probably safe to say you're really close to about 15%, right? Which is great. Um, Other than that, like, have you noticed any other benefit, Kev, of being
I
where
think I
you were
sleep.
then
I
before
think,
now?
yeah, I think I sleep better. My clothes hang off of me. Uh,
Get to the tailor, Kev.
95, 99. Yeah, I had to. I had to. I
Have
actually
you?
did have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, 95% of people go, wow, you look really good. To two people going, wow, you look really good. You're not ill, are you? You've lost a lot of
Right,
weight. So,
right, right. Yeah,
but I think in a more of a sort of stunned, you've lost a lot of weight.
yeah, yeah.
Went back and saw a lot of my friends from school in London, and they're all like, "Wow, you look really good."
Really
So
well. Well, I'll tell you what, you
yeah,
don't, honestly, being truthful, you don't look 54, by the way. You
yeah, it's the
definitely,
hair.
yeah, maybe you got a good barnet on you, haven't
Yeah,
you? But no,
good
good.
bonnet and
So,
no grey, and no grey goes a long way to
yeah, definitely.
to people thinking you're young.
Yeah, it's good,
So,
mate. You're
but
looking
yeah,
good.
and I
Well,
feel more confident if I'm honest
yeah, yeah.
as well. Yeah, feel more confident myself. Yeah,
What do you mean when you sort of taking the kids to the pool and stuff like that and things? Or
yeah, I mean, a lot of people to keep telling you how good you look
right?
tends to make you feel better about yourself, right? You tend to
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
a bit,
yeah,
a bit peacocky, don't
yeah.
you?
Bit more of a spring in your step. No, wicked. So 12 kilos lost. where you're currently at right now, the aim is obviously to pack on a little bit of muscle. Would you say? Well, I mean, what would the next steps for you be for you? Because the beauty thing about fitness is, as you know, right, there's never really like a I'm there now, or once I get there, I'll stop. It's like it doesn't really work like that, does it? Right? It's a journey and it's fun. But would you say it's become more of a habit now, the sort of getting in the gym and you enjoy it, you like lifting, you feel making you feel a
Yeah,
bit better?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Next goals for me are maintain. I don't mind putting a little bit back on, but maintain. I don't want to put. What I don't want to do is put weight on
The butt,
around
yeah.
my waist
Yeah.
or my moves.
Yeah.
Um, so I think for me, it's probably put on a bit more muscle and then
Yeah.
maintain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
No,
you know,
I'd massively agree with that.
yeah, I don't particularly want to lose any more.
No, I wouldn't.
Um,
No. I think the weight you've come off now, which we're going to go through now in our coaching session, the weight you've got off now is body fat, shall I say, is literally as far as you want to go. Now it's about getting a little bit harder, a little bit leaner. And based on what you said then, is probably maybe work on the shoulders and the chest a little bit more, right? Getting a bit more shape, getting those down a little
yeah,
bit. Yeah.
I like my back. I mean, funny enough, when you look at the photos,
Yeah.
you don't realize how, particularly from the back, it's quite interesting. Because you never can look at yourself from the back.
No.
And I still feel that that could lose a bit more definition.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah. So right. So what I'll do now, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you what you have been doing, what we need to change to get you there. But for context, just so you sort of know, not a lot of people think. So it's not easy, but it's a lot quicker to lose weight than it is to build muscle and get in shape, right? You can lose 10, 20 kilos in 90 days. Unfortunately, you can't build loads of muscle in 90 days, right?
Yeah.
Um, it takes, 3, 4 times longer. Okay. Which we'll go through now. Right, let me share my screen. Let's dive into your program. All right. So here we are. This is basically Kev's program. This is his training here. We was actually just looking at weights, but I want to just dive into the dash quickly and just going to show you the trajectory of where you sort of were, right? Because what a lot of people think, they think it's just like spot goes straight down. But if you can see, when you're not massively overweight, it takes a little bit longer because remember, we're here to get in shape, not just to get skinny and lose weight, right?
Yeah.
This was obviously a little holiday here, maybe, Kev. Yeah.
The two sort of big peaks are holidays.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
one to Zanzibar around April, and then
Yeah.
the UK this summer.
Yeah. But over time, look, if you keep consistent, it
Yeah,
all
yeah.
irons out at the end. All right. So that's good. So yeah, we
And
don't really
then
want to get any lower than 72.
yeah,
Okay. Now I'm going to dive into your nutrition here. Now, if you want to put on a little bit more muscle, nutrition is I'm gonna say as much as 70% of the outcome. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, so this is your nutrition plan right now. Now we've been through the nutrition plan. So obviously you've got to the point now where you're doing this, your steak. It's actually quite similar to what you told me, the way you sort of do it now off your own back, isn't it? To this.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
I follow that. I mean, I tend because the evening tends to get a bit thrown out by my wife.
Yeah, yeah.
I started off used to have quite a lot of protein bars. I've kind of dropped them out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean they're good for now and again. They're tasty, aren't they? But yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what?
If I do feel really hungry, it's what I go for.
Yeah, exactly. So to get you where you need to get to, obviously the nutrition is going to have to be increased. You're going to have to eat more food. All right. So what's got you here, 10, 12 kilos down, is not going to get you where you need to get to because we can't. I think you're eating a bit more than this because you're adding a little bit more. So you're probably eating about 1,500 a
Yeah,
day, right? Might even be a little bit more of those sort of nighttime meals. But anyway, who cares? You got to enjoy it, family time and things. So anyway, these first two sort of meals, we can bulk these up a little bit because you're at work. You can obviously eat on your own. You don't have to sort of eat a family meal. So right now, you're only having 25 grams of protein in your first meal, and you're having about, I think you said that chicken, what you had is about 45, right? And then
yeah,
you get home, and the wife's either cooked chicken, beef, or whatever. But it's probably not 200 grams a serving. It's probably not every night, right? So on average, you're eating about 100 grams of protein a day. Now, when the leaner someone is, the more protein they actually has to consume. When someone needs to lose a load of weight, they don't need as much protein. But when you get leaner, you need more protein. You want to keep full. You want to get better covering. You want to build muscle. All right. So in order to get where you need to get to, pack a bit more muscle on so it aligns with your training is we literally need to double this protein intake in meal one and pretty much meal two, right?
Okay.
Which for example, nice and easy, just be double scoop protein. Tenderloin, you from that fuel up that you're having, that delivery one, they only give you about 100 grams of protein, 150, right? So an easy one would be double the protein of that. Okay. And that's all you have to do is just double the protein on your
Sorry,
first
say that. What did you say about this? They only give you 100 grams, so you can do what, sir?
double it up, for example, would just be an easy solution to double your protein. Yeah.
What, have two servings?
Yeah, I think you can write to them or however you do it, you can order 200 grams or 250.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I think you can actually order 250. So you want to add that to 250, double scoop of protein. Already there, you're up to 150 grams. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you do with the nutrition is we have to pretty much increase your protein by about 50%. All right.
Yeah.
With here, you have your lunch, meal two. It's only sort of steak and veg, right? Or meat and
Hmm.
veg that you've delivered. So now what we need to do, we need to get more calories in. We need to have a nice big portion of rice, nice big portion of potatoes. Yeah. Have to get more calories.
Yeah.
You want this calorie intake now. We want to get up to about 2,200 and start there, then start getting stronger and building up. All right.
Okay. I had a call with Dan this week. We were
Yeah.
talking about it. He was saying to only do an additional 200 calories a week.
Yeah, and then build it up to sort of 220. That's where we need to get to. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're not gonna jump it up straight from here right to 220.
Right. Okay.
So you do it gradually, 200 to sort of 400, like Dan said, a week. All right. Then you get up to
Okay.
sort of 220, see how you're doing. And by that time, you're going to increase the training as well, which I'll show you now. But does that all make a bit of sense? Yeah, with the nutrition?
Yeah. Are you going to send through something else then, just to make it sort of easier for me to follow,
Yeah,
rather
I'm
than
gonna
put
I'm
it,
gonna have a
commit
chat
it
with
to memory?
Dan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have a chat with Dan, and he'll give you one with the increased calories. All right.
Yeah. That'd be super useful. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Then you can sort of go off that, can't you then?
Yeah.
Um, right, so that's the nutrition. Protein increased by about 50%. More carbs, get it in you, get nice and full. Now, training, this is the fun bit, right? So, for example, Kev wants to work on his chest a little bit, right? Work on your chest, maybe shoulders.
Chest,
So,
shoulders. So my legs are pretty. Have always been pretty good.
yeah,
So yeah, chest and shoulders and biceps and triceps.
yeah, exactly. So, what we're doing now, currently,
Yeah.
is 4 sessions. Okay. Um, Now, in order to work on chest and shoulders, okay, to build muscle a little bit quicker, is you have to change the frequency of training. For example, what I mean by that, if you want to work on the chest and shoulders, instead of doing one big chest workout a week for an hour, it's better to do two chest workouts for 30 minutes. Make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
work on the shoulders, instead of just doing one big shoulder workout of a workout, add it in twice a week for the same amount of time, but you just half the time. Yeah. So we have to
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
working on frequency over the week. So you're hitting that chest area twice a week rather than once. Yeah. One thing you also want to do, I know we went over it before, is really start focusing on using the tracking system for the weights and remember what you lifted because it's impossible to get bigger or develop that area and build muscle if you're not getting stronger over the next 90 days. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I use it and try to go up every week.
Yeah, exactly. Now your big five exercises, I really want you to be going up sort of 5% every sort of week. All right. So your chest press, your deadlift, your bent over row, squats, overhead press, they're your big five exercises. You want to be pumping them up 5% every week.
When you
All
say
right.
5%, are you talking about the weight or
The
the?
weight.
So it's the weight going up 5%. Oh, you're not
Yeah.
just talking about like the weight and the reps. So you could do the same weight but go up 5% in the reps.
Yeah. just really focus on getting the weight at 5% each week. All right.
Okay.
Really, it's a really good task that it just keeps you focused on that one thing. All right. So you got your nutrition, you got your training. That's what we'll sort of do. All right. Change the frequency, 5% on each of your top five exercises, your big compounds. All right. Stay consistent with that. Keep the weight, obviously the waistline down by not going too high with the nutrition. All right. Not going too mad, but obviously you've built those habits up now, Kevin. You seem like you're pretty got everything in lockdown, right? It seems like it's a lifestyle to you, and you feel like it's a real habit now, right? The good eating and the lifting. Um, and that's what we're going to do in this sort of next phases. All right. Have you got any questions on any of that, Kev, that I can sort of help you with or give you more direction?
No, I mean, I think it'd be good to get the nutrition guideline as, sort of showing how it should
Yeah.
go up on a weekly basis, so I can kind of think about it in advance. I was
Yeah.
actually sort of thinking, I think my wife actually plans the meals out
Oh,
in the
shit.
week in advance, so I can actually, if I know what she's doing, if she's doing a carb heavy, I suppose I can then have. I don't know, what's your recommendation? If I know she's doing spaghetti
Yeah.
in the evening,
Yeah.
what do I do during the week, during the day? Do I go less protein, less carbs, sorry, less calories?
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. So I would just focus on the protein for now. Focus on the protein. As long as you're getting 150 plus, ideally 180, right? Ideally 180. And if you're having a little bit more at night, the carbs, don't worry about it. Remember, our mind now is to start building muscle and getting stronger. So a little bit extra spag bowl once a week is not going to do anything.
Hmm.
If anything, the next day in the gym, you just can be, yes, let's get in there, get that weight up 5%, start pulling more weight, pushing more weight, and really use the extra food. You only start putting on weight around the waist when you start eating extra food and not working out, right?
Okay.
So, but you've got that under control now, so you're going to be good, right? Use the extra carbs, the extra food, get in the gym and with a bit more intent, you know. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll get down to draw that out so you've got something to go to, like you're doing now, and it just give you a little bit more guidance, wouldn't it? And then we'll change the training around that sort of next phase. All right.